while since I last did a video, so I decided to do a combined May and June wrap-up. I know the lighting in here isn't great, but that's how it's like, and the camera isn't great either. But bear with me. Yeah, so nothing fancy here, you know. So May was a really bad reading month for me. I only read 2 books, though they were really good books. So the first was Atlas Alone by Emma Newman, which is the newest, not sure how to say that, but it's the book in the Planetfall series that was the latest released. How many books are there in the Planetfall series now? 4, 5? I can't quite remember. I've read them all and I love the series, and Emma Newman is definitely one of my favorite authors. My favorite book in the series is probably Before Mars. Though this was very good as well. It's a kind of a thriller sort of book and science fiction. Deals with mental health, among other things. And there is a really nice twist on the end as well. It was really good, and I really enjoyed it. Next book up for May was Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I think this was the 3rd or 4th time I read this book. I actually think that Northanger Abbey is a really great novel. It's really funny. It's my favorite Jane Austen novel. I have a long and passionate relationship with the works of Jane Austen. Not going to go into it. But yeah, Northanger Abbey is such a really fun and easy read, actually. I did a readathon for it. Not readathon, read-along on my Instagram account. On Instagram I'm as well hidden in a book. If you want to give me a follow, that is okay. I'm currently on a social media break, so I'm not on Twitter, not on Snapchat, and not on Instagram for at least a week. That will probably pass after a week. I'll probably miss it, I guess. Anyway, Northanger Abbey, a fun, whimsical read. It's said to be a parody of the romantic gothic novels of the time. There's a lot of reference to Anne Radcliffe and the Mystery of Udolpho, which was quite fun. I've read Anne Radcliffe. I read her when I did my module in romantic gothic literature when I studied English in Cardiff a long time ago, as in 20 years ago. I'm getting old. No, I'm not getting old. Anyway, so Northanger Abbey. And then in June, I didn't read much either, I think. Only 3 books. So yeah, a little bit disappointed. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not sure how it will be like later on either. Anyway, so I read Trail of Lightning, which is a science fiction dystopia kind of novel. It deals with Native Americans, among other things, and there's monster hunting, and there's supernatural powers and stuff, and it's fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's different, so really liked it. I would love to read the rest of the series. I think there's more books. I think it's the first in a series. It's written by Rebecca Rowenholz. So yeah, loved it. Next book up was Beiste. This is a Norwegian book by Per Steiner. Per Schreiner Beista. It's a book from this year. It's not very thick, it's quite thin. It's also a very good book. I really enjoyed it. It's about this guy who has been on a run and then he drives over something that gets like stuck to his car, so you can like hear that it's stuck to his car. He continues for a while and then he stops and tries to push it away with a stick or something, and then he can feel fur. So it seems like it's an animal. And then all of a sudden he gets bitten and the animal just runs away across the street into the woods and disappears. And he's bleeding. He puts like some fabric around his hand and goes to bed and stuff like that. And from the morning on, he starts to change. And slowly, the next days, next weeks, he changes more and more and more. And nobody seems to notice his changing, which is odd. So it's kind of an odd book, but I really enjoyed it. Not going to say too much. Highly recommend it if you can read Norwegian from this year. The last book I read was a memoir. It was Educated by Tara Westover, which was really touching. It's about her life. She grew up in a Mormon family, very fanatic, I guess, off the grid living family. Her dad is very, very strict. They do homeschooling, or rather pretty no schooling. So she grows up in a very protective family life. Her mother does like homeopathy and remedies from herbs and stuff. And then she goes off to college. I'm not going into too much detail because it's really worth a read, but I thought it was so interesting and so far from my own life. I have no words for how far away from my life this is. A really interesting read, and I really enjoyed it. So those were my reads from May and June. Not sure how June will be like. I'm trying to read something, and I'm working, and I get very tired from work because work is really busy at the moment. We're hardly any people left because of the wonders of the Norwegian Fellesferie. Anyway, so I'm at work. I am working for another 4 weeks before I have my holidays. But I'm starting with a long train trip, so I'm hoping to get some stuff read then. So I'm hoping to get a little bit more read in August. I'm hoping also to read a little bit more in July, which we're in now. Jesus. And then at the end of August, I'm going to start my master's degree. And I will be working 80%, so that is like 4 days a week, approx. And then I have 1 day for studies, even though it's like half-time study. So it's like, if you're like 80% of work, and it's like 50% of studies, so it's a total of 130%, I think, which is more than full-time. So it's a bit crazy, but I'm okay with that. I'm looking forward to starting my master's, part-time master's in library and information science. I have a bachelor already, so I'm going to do a master's, hopefully. So that's it for now, and I will see you in the next video.